Very good afternoon, my dear students. So today I am going to discuss about introduction to network. Under this introduction to computer system and working, the topic is that a memory of computer system. So what is a memory of a computer system is? Computer memory. As we find that there are the different types of memories are available in the computer. Memory means the place where you will going to store the data, the place where you find that you can talk. Memory means the section where you usually have the data and information to be stored. So there are the different type of memory systems are available in the computer system. So whenever we talk about the memory, okay, whenever we talk about the memory, this particular memory of the computer system, what usually we talk about? We usually talk about a two pattern of memory. One is said as a primary memory and another one is said as a secondary memory. Okay, primary memory and secondary memory. That means the primary memory or the main memory. That is the basic thing, main memory or the primary memory. So we will talk about this particular thing when we generally say about the memory section. And secondary memory means what? As I have said you, secondary memory is that particular section where we store the data. Okay, it is also called as a storage device. So different type of storage device are there which will store the data, store the instruction, result, what? Permanently for the future use. So data what we find that are being stored, isn't it? Data what we say that are being stored. So those the data what are there, each of this particular data are being used in what way? In the way that we find it, that particular data will going to be what? Recognized. Recognized by what? Recognized by the different pattern of the structures. So all those different pattern of structures what are there, all those different part of structures what are there, we find it that there are the two different things which we are going to identify. What we say it? We say it as a binary language. That means the binary digit or the binary number configurations, combinations of zeros and ones. What we find it that there are those the things which will going to accumulated, it will going to stored in this particular way. Okay, so further what we find it that are being divided into a bits. So bits are the group from the words. So 4 bit of word, that means 4 bit of word is called what? Nibble. How they are done? That means when we have a 4 bit, that particular 4 bit is said as a nibble. Okay, so this particular nibble is what? Nibble is like 4 bit. If you say 4 bit, this particular 4 bit means what? 4 bit equals to what? One nibble. Okay, NIBBLE. So 4 bit equals to nibble. That means this nibble is what? It is an example. Suppose there is 1001. This is the data has been taken. So this is one nibble. 1010 is one nibble, isn't it? 0011 any pattern of the data. That means if I take 0100, this is also what? This particular data is also a nibble. Okay, so this is the thing what we find it nibble. Now when you take two nibbles, when we take two nibbles of it, that means two nibble means what? Two nibbles. Okay, two nibbles means what? Two nibbles means what? 8 bit. Originally two nibbles is what? 8 bits. Okay, so these 8 bits what we find, this is what we say, this is the two nibbles. So this is what we find. See, you can see a number. There are the four number 1, 2, 3, 4. Then this is the four number. So this is the four number 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the another set of number. This is one set of number. This is another set of number. So this way, what we can find, we can create the nibble. Okay, we can make a very big memory. We can make a very big chunk of a memory. Okay, so those the thing what we can make, those the thing what we can use. For what purpose? For the purpose of what? For the purpose of the different type of storage. Okay, so different pattern of storage what are there? Different type of storage what are there? Those each and every pattern of storage will going to have a what replications of the data that are being stored, the replications of the data that will going to be implemented. Okay, so each of this particular data what we find that each of these data are there to be worked with. So see here I have given one chart here, the digital data presentation. Kilobyte means 1 kilobyte. So what does this particular kilobyte means? 1 kilobyte is what? 1 kilobyte means your 1 kilobyte is what? 1024 byte. Okay, that 1 megabyte is what? 1024 kilobyte. 1 gigabyte is what? 1024 megabyte. 1 terabyte is what? 1024 gigabyte. 1 petabyte means 1024 terabyte. 1 exabyte means 1024 petabyte. 1 zettabyte means 1024 exabyte, and 1 yottabyte means 1024 what? Zettabyte. That means this is the highest, this one is the highest specification of any part of a memory. If you have a yottabyte, that means you will going to have a huge amount of data that are being stored, that can be stored and that can be processed. Okay, so this is what you can see it, that how the thing will going to work with. Now storage measurement, as I have shown you the storage measurement, this is the basic storage measurement. What we can say that computer data is stored is called a bit or binary digit. Okay, the basic unit based on which the computer data will going to be stored, that is called a bit. That means it is a binary digit. So computer are used a little bit, that means a small bit it will going to use. What is this? That is zeros and ones. Okay, or ones or zeros, that means on and off or off and on. So this is the thing what we find, this is the part what we find, that we are talking about different types of memory systems that are being going to store. There we find that there are the memory files are there, the files that we're going to store in the form of a binary file system. So binary number system is one of the basic pattern of your memory section. So see here what I have discussed, that the thing has been given as the storage unit what are there, isn't it? So those are the storage unit that we find that we will going to use this storage unit. What we say the size? 1 bit means either yes or no, that means zeros and ones, isn't it? 1 byte means of 0 to 255. 90 bytes is enough storage for a typical line of textbook. 4 KB kilobyte. 4 KB is about one page of text. 120 kilobyte is the text of a typical pocketbook. 3 megabyte. 3 megabyte means a 3-minute song. That means 128 bit rate. 650 to 900 megabyte means a CD can store it. 1 gigabyte is what? 114 minutes of uncompressed CD quality of 1.4 what? Mbits. 8 to 16 gigabyte means what? The size of a normal flash drive. So what we find that when we are talking of a gigabyte, now we are talking of the different type of terabyte and all. So those are the things what we find. That means when we are talking about a computer central processing unit, in this particular measurement section we have what? The hertz. Hertz means what? 1 hertz is a cycle of a second. Okay, 1 cycle of a second that the CPU will going to do the work. That's the particular work what we say that it is your what? Different types of speed that will going to calculate what? 1 hertz, 1 megahertz, 1 gigahertz, all these things. That means 1 megahertz means 1 million cycle per second. Okay, so 1 gigahertz means 1 billion cycle per second. So you can imagine how big, how process can be done in a very huge way or in a very huge scale. So this is the thing what we find, this is the part what we find, that in each and every section, each and every part, we are using this particular pattern of what? Memory. So before going to the other particular section, let us see some of the input and output devices. First, I am going to discuss about some input devices. The very common input device that we find are used in the computer. One is a keyboard. Okay, keyboard means a very common thing to us. We all know it, that it is a QWERTY keyboard. There are 104 keys are there. Using those 100 key, we can do the work. Next is what? Mouse. Mouse means a very small interface, that is a handheld input. Okay, what pattern of input? It is an handheld input device which used to control all the interfaces. It can select the file, it can select the text, it can select the folders, whatever you want to do, isn't it? It can do all your work by a single click. Next comes what? Scanner. Scanner is what? Optically we need a document. For what? For the file, image, and then we can change it into a digital signal and send into the computer. So then what we have? We have an OMR. OMR means optical mark recognitions or reader. It can be said optical mark reader or optical mark recognizer. So it is used to see, you can see those optical marks are there in the different section. So those the marks can be easily diagnostic by it, isn't it? OCR, optical character reader. Optical character reader will going to recognize the things from the input device. Okay, read the printable text and do the work. Right? MICR means magnetic ink character reader. This is also an input device. Okay, generally what we find, the application is a blank and processed in a check. If you see the checkbook, in the checkbook, down of the checkbook, you will see some bars are there. So this is what? MICR bar, isn't it? Magnetic ink character reader. Next, what we can find? Microphones. Microphones means that I am talking, you are talking with that particular microphone, and we all are doing with that microphone. Next, what we have? Webcam. We are very aware of. So you are seeing me in the live. That is what? That is an webcam, isn't it? Next, what we have? A graphics tablet. Graphics tablet is one type of input device which help you to draw. Next, what you have? A trackballs. Trackballs means which up downs the mouses. Okay, you can make your mouse socket up and down and cursor to be controlled. Clear? Next, what we have there? The barcode reader. Barcode reader means what? There are the various types of barcode we can find. If you purchase any product, that is a barcode. Next, what we have? A gamepad. Gamepad means through which we can control the video. Okay, next what we have? The joystick. So these are the different type of things that we can find that we use as an input devices. So with the input device, what we find it that there is an output device. Output device means very common output device is what? First and foremost output device which will going to show you the output, isn't it? So output device is what? This particular output device is a monitor, isn't it? Monitor is one of the common output device that we are going to use it, and we find it this particular output device is being implemented. Okay, monitor can be said as visual display unit, where we can see the image, where we can find that what the image is and how the image is working. Next, what we have? The speaker. Speaker is also one pattern of this particular thing, isn't it? Speaker is in one particular pattern of this particular thing, where we find it as those the speaker what are there, those the speaker what we find that will going to take your signal, that will going to receive the signal, and as it receives the signal, we find it that each of this particular thing, each of this particular signal will going to implement on this particular scenario. Okay, so as we find it that this will going to implement on this particular scenario, we can find one more thing is there, that is a projector. Okay, we use the projector. As we use the projector, we find that each of this particular projector, what the projector will going to do, will going to display the work what you want to show. So this is the thing, these are the some of the very common what pattern of device, they are the very common output devices. Okay, very common output device that we use. Now in this particular output devices, we have one thing that which will going to act as both input and output. That means a device using as an input as well as the output. One of these is USB drive. USB drive or flash drive, what we say that flash drive or USB drive is used to save the particular thing, used to receive the particular thing, isn't it? So those the input what we find it, those the particular pattern of input that we see, that is your USB drive. Okay, next what we see that facsimile. Facsimile means fax machine. Okay, it will going to do the scanning, it will going to take the input with a small printer. Next what we can find modem. Modem is for modulation and demodulation purpose. Okay, that I have said you earlier, the analog data will be converted into digital and digital data will be converted into an analog. Next what we can find is there CD writer and DVD writer. It was previously used, but nowadays we can find this was not in so much use. Okay, next what we can find a touch screen. Touch screen we all are now aware of, our mobile phone and all are the touch screen. This is one input. Next what we have, as well as an output also. Next what we have an headset. Headset is working as input as well as an output, because it take the information and whatever you say that also been taken by it. So this is how what we can find the different input and output device will going to work. Okay, thank you students, then I am ending my this session here. Thank you all.